Hi, welcome to the PoliticAL update with me, Alexandra Acker-Lyons. I pay attention to the political news so you don't have to. This is the advice I give my millionaire clients, and you get it for free. It is Friday, August 7th. Okay, candidate news. Michigan primary is over. Woo! Abdul El Sayed won. It was quite a narrow win. We'll come back to that. Really proud of how Haley Stevens and all of her endorsers immediately turned around, got on board with El Sayed's campaign. Senate Majority PAC put out a terrific ad set to Journey's Don't Stop Believin'. So I'm feeling better about his chances in that race. I think he has already started to say and do a bunch of things he needs to do to win. And we also saw an upset in Michigan 7 with Will Lawrence winning that three-way primary. Christina Hines won in Michigan 10. Just a huge win by Jocelyn Benson. Many of you may not even know that Jocelyn had a primary, but she did with a kind of labor-backed candidate. She won by over 80%. And John James won that Republican primary as expected. So once again, Michigan, center of the political universe. Apologies to the voters who will now be bombarded. There were primaries in other states. In Kansas, Cindy Hulsher kind of unexpectedly won. She was not endorsed by Laura Kelly and some of the other candidates in the state. And Adam Hamilton won the Senate primary. Both are tough. Both are winnable. Gonna keep an eye on those. And then definitely keep an eye on Attorney General candidate Chris Mann. I think this is probably the most winnable statewide race in Kansas. He is a great candidate running against a insane extremist. So AGs are critical this year, and Chris is one in a unexpected place who could actually win. Virginia primaries went as expected with Shannon Taylor, Elaine Luria, and Tom Perriello winning. These are all, Virginia was not able to enact their maps, even though the voters passed them because of the state Supreme Court. And so these districts are all totally doable, but harder than they could have been, Tom's in particular. But Virginia is a state that has swung more blue, and I think they're all very winnable. Okay, other political news. Todd Blanche may go down. Lisa Murkowski has said she will not vote for him after Susan Collins also said she will not vote for him. Way to be brave. So we just need, one of these YOLO guys like a Tom Tillis or someone else to kind of say, nope, not doing it. Trump has said he will keep him as in an acting role, even if he does not get confirmed. But in particular, given, his reaction to all things Epstein, including just being so dismissive of the survivors, him not being confirmed by the Senate would be a huge win. In other bad dude news, Chuck Edwards has dropped out of his reelection race. This is the super creepy member who sent notes and presents to several female members of his staff. Check out the comb over. It's even worse than Trump's. Corey Mills in Florida is unlikely to lose, but is definitely, putting that seat in play. And then Max Miller in Ohio just looks dug in. We have until Monday. He has until Monday to drop out and be replaced on the ballot. If he does not drop out by Monday, his name will be on the ballot. These are all competitive seats where we have great candidates and hopefully can flip a few on the heels of men being terrible. Okay, coming back to Michigan, I have gotten a lot of questions about what happened with the polling. Many of the polls were showing El Sayed with a commanding, even double-digit lead. There's kind of not one answer here, and this is like what everyone doesn't like about polling is it is not perfect. It is a tool. Margin of error is real. All of the things. But it is really hard to model a primary electorate. You don't know exactly who will turn out. You don't know exactly how some of those votes will break down. Keep in mind, like, college students were not on campus. They would have had to vote absentee or travel to their college town if they were registered there. Haley Stevens did extremely well with Black voters in Detroit. So there were just some, things here and there where a couple of points add up. There were also some murmurings about the last few polls that were put out being only text or web-based. Multimodal is best. Just like ingrain that in you. Pollsters, actual pollsters, not me, and other folks have done some additional analysis, but we basically will have to wait for the voter file to come back to kind of see exactly what happened. Also, if you want to kind of geek out this weekend, go to 50+1, all spelled out, news. I'll put the link in the notes. They're kind of the successor to 538. They just put out their model and had the odds of Democrats winning the House at 89 out of 100 and of Democrats winning the Senate at 55 out of 100. So go in, play around with that this weekend. And the DCCC added 12 districts to expand the map, including Colorado 3 and Colorado 4 here in my backyard. So again, these are all stretch districts, but the fact that we're looking at them, there's always a few surprises at the end. Really exciting. And my shout out of the week goes to the New York Times for publishing the 50 best thrillers of the 21st century. I am very excited to dig into that list and see which ones I haven't read, which ones I want to go back and read again. I love a thriller. I especially love like a spy thriller. I like a historical conspiracy theory thriller. So thank you, New York Times, for helping me round out my summer reading list. Have a great week. Bye.